Okay, so I took a little break to eat, but I just now opened it, and he's already here. Caleb.
You said you liked this place, so I figured I should check it out. It's your secret hideout? Well, looks like there's one more person who'll keep your secret.
Oh my gosh. Caleb.
If you want to make sure I'm here, there are more direct ways to check.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it.
If you can't think of a solution, then why are you playing with my hair?
Oh my gosh, please laugh. Please laugh. Wait, here's laugh again.
If you can't think of a solution, then why are you playing with my hair?
His little giggle is so cute. Sorry everyone. Today is Caleb's day. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm gonna continue the story. Now I'm on the second chapter, Night Unending.
Why are you staring off into space? Mission's over.
A flashback to chapter 4.
But hide the blood on your sleeve before heading inside.
Please don't show the explosion again.
Since you're a grown-up now, I won't cover for you this time.
No. No. Why did you have to do that? Oh, it was a nightmare. I opened my eyes, only to be greeted by warm sunlight on my face. It casts a dazzling, hazy halo. As my vision slowly clears, all I can see is the white snow. All I can see is the snow-white ceiling above me. It was all just a dream. I sigh. Rubbing my pounding temples, I feel drained, my body heavy. Last night, I was supposed to act like I was sleeping, but somehow I got dizzy and actually slept. Yeah, I was right. He gave us like pills to make us fall asleep. Random thoughts raced in my mind, and I grabbed my phone. The screen shows I had many missed calls. Oh no. All of them are from Zane. Uh-oh.
The hospital can't reach his guardians, which could be a problem. I'll have everything arranged by tomorrow night at the latest.
Oh no, Kevy. I dial his number, but the call never connects. I put on my slippers and rush to the door while texting Zane. As I open the door, a barrage of loud news alerts burst forth as morning sunlight casts a gentle glow on the door. On the floor. I change and run into the living room, only to smack right into a solid chest. Caleb.
You're awake.
Yeah. Caleb's emerged from the bathroom. Steam is still coming off his body. I hold my phone and step back. Meeting his surprised gaze, I feel my heart pounding in my chest. When did you get back?
Around the crack of dawn.
He casually dries his hair with a towel and walks to the dining table. He grabs a piece of toast.
Why are you in a rush to leave?
I come to my senses, scrambling for a decent excuse. Oh, something came up. I won't be back in time for lunch.
Need a ride?
No, I'll be back before the sun sets. It's the same new VA as Jenna, I think. I freeze, staring somewhat incredulously at the screen in the middle of the living room. That missing kid has been found?
Yep.
He takes a bite of his toast and he approaches me. He places one hand on the back of the couch, his eyes looking over the news.
During last night's operation, they found him in a small garden, not far from the blockade. Oh, and he was holding a fragment of what appeared to be an ether core. He's okay, and the fleet's currently holding onto that shard. If you're really worried, I'll keep a closer eye on his medical updates for you.
I see. Technically speaking, I should have felt relieved that Caleb found him. But there's this weird tension in the air still, weighing down on my heart like a dark cloud. Once Kevy's condition stabilizes, they should allow visitors, right? I want to see him.
Sure thing, Pipsqueak. But why the long face?
Caleb used to be against me getting involved in anything related to the explosion. Yet he's suddenly cool with it. If this whole thing really was just an accident, a series of coincidences, then I should feel okay about it. I'm worried about him. The question I still want to ask remains in my mouth. I take a deep breath to calm myself and notice the faint scent of something metallic. Oh, his arm. Almost drowned out by the fragrance of his shower gel. It reminds me of blood. I grab his hand. Did you get into a fight during last night's cleanup? Are you hurt anywhere?
I'm A-okay.
I thoroughly check his hands to ensure there are no injuries.
Really, I'm fine. But
All of a sudden, a cold hand touches my forehead.
looks like your fever's gone.
I had a fever?
Yeah. As soon as I got back, I heard you calling out to me in your sleep. So I figured I'd make sure you were doing okay. Was it a nightmare or something?
Oh no. It's nothing. Maybe it's because I've been pushing myself too hard lately. Or maybe it was a nightmare from this morning. Either way, I feel anxious. I glance at Caleb, who's grabbing a jacket. He nudges my shoulder to direct me elsewhere.
Why don't you wash up first? I didn't get a chance to take you somewhere yesterday. Do you want to go out today?
Okay. I hesitate, and before I can nod, his phone vibrates.
It's me. What happened? What's going on?
The voice on the other end of the call wipes a smile off Caleb's face. His brows furrow.
All right.
What's wrong?
Mia passed away.
What? In that moment, silence extends and wraps around my ears. What? Nah, something weird is going on. Sunlight hits the ground, but its chill creeps up like vines and steals my breath. What? According to the documents I read, Mia went into septic shock because of her burns. They couldn't save her. Zane examined Mia's emergency treatment records, which perfectly matched the fleet's public statement. The medical records are too thorough. It's almost as if they're hiding something. Besides, no one actually witnessed Mia's death. After the academic conference ended, Zane retrieved a classified file and departed with the medical team. He took these mysteries with him, and once he confirmed my safety, he didn't ask any more questions. As for Kevy, whoever went to such lengths to find him clearly wants him alive, for now at least. Don't be too hard on yourself. But the story doesn't end there. The remains of the siblings' parents were found aboard the small vessel Joseph had taken, which further proves his involvement. The Far Space Fleet stepped in to address public concerns and quickly arranged an adoptive family for Kevy. Everything progressed at an unnaturally rapid pace. Their flawless response is too perfect. It was like watching a chess game where every move had been planned in advance.
Is the explosion incident a result of the fleet's negligence?
Has the fleet taken any steps to reflect on its actions? With the full-scale lockdown fast approaching, are there any new protocols in place?
Beyond the barricade tape, reporters and photographers with cameras of all sizes gather together, yet it's eerily calm in front of Mia's grave. When the funeral ends, the crowd disperses. Kevy stands alone by the tombstone, fiddling with the black armband that continues to slide down. His face is smooth and boyish. There are neither crystals nor grief. Kevy, are you okay?
Miss?
He looks up at me, studying my expression before revealing a smile.
Yeah, the professor has been very nice. I'm moving to a new place soon.
The professor? Is he the one who adopted Kevy? Viper mentioned a professor. This is not good. I'm sorry, I planned to show up that night, but if I had found you sooner...
It's okay. The fleet found me in the end.
He speaks before I can continue. His expression almost devoid of emotion. He's composed. but I thought you said you didn't want to go with the fleet. Something's still off. Kevin managed to avoid being detected even when they did thorough searches. The fleet didn't find him right until...
Don't worry, miss. I'll be okay in my new home. I'll miss my sister.
He speaks as if he's stating a fact. And why would a person be sad about something that already became a fact? It's as if I'm the only one who's not quite ready to face reality yet. I push down the sadness bubbling inside me and give him Lucia, who's been cleaned. Here's the plushy meal left behind. It should stay with its owner. Kevin frowns. He glances at the photo on the tombstone, surrounded by flowers and toys, as if trying to figure out who the person is.
I don't like toys. But because it's from you, I'll take it.
The confusion in his eyes only lasts a moment. When he looks up again, he has that serene smile on his face. So his... Was his memory wiped? After Kevin heads off with his new family, I stay where I am, and then I hear a familiar voice behind me. Caleb tips his hat and sets down a fresh bouquet by Mia's grave.
I'm sorry. Some fleet business got in the way.
It's okay. As your adjutant, it's normal for me to represent you when needed. For a long time we stand there, silently observing the bright smile on the tombstone.
How's Kevy doing?
He's doing almost too great to be true.
Maybe the kid's just putting up a front. So, he hasn't really come to terms with his family and sister being gone from this world.
That can't be right. The doubt echoing in my mind almost escapes my lips. I slowly close my eyes and calm down. In less than 2 days, Kevy's condition completely changed from what I saw that night. This must be the fleet's doing. It seems an unseen force pushed for the rapid completion of Mia's funeral and Kevy's adoption. Does this mean Caleb knows what's really going on? Many adults struggle with tragedies such as these. I can only imagine what it's like for a child. Picking up on what I'm saying, Caleb gives my shoulder a comforting squeeze. He looks like he wants to say more, but he just lowers his head. There's a bit of sadness in his eyes.
Don't be too disheartened.
Okay. Ever since the explosion, everything has been wrapped up too well. The wind pushes one of the toys near the tombstone. It rolls and stops at my feet. Caleb bends down to pick it up. He dusts it off, and his insignia gleams silver under the dim light. I play with the hem of my shirt and hold back the questions itching to escape my mouth. I've known Caleb for a long time. I shouldn't doubt him without any evidence.
Let's go. We can relax somewhere else.
Colonel?
The communication device on Caleb's wrist vibrates. He grimaces.
What is it?
There's a large group of reporters outside. They're making a scene.
I'll see what's going on.
Yes, Colonel.
Go ahead. I want to spend some more time with Mia.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Caleb? Just as he's about to leave, I stop him. I want to ask something. I look into that familiar gaze. Letting go of the hem I've been clutching, I smile at him. No matter what happens, I can always trust you, right?
Of course.
He moves his arm, seemingly about to ruffle my hair. Yet he stops and instead pats my shoulder. He doesn't want the dirt on his hand to get in my hair.
Wait for me.
As more people leave, the cemetery quiets down. I go for a stroll, walking along the gravel path. I'm closer to the exit. But the questions I couldn't bring myself to ask keep flooding my mind. If the Farspace fleet were the ones who caused the explosion, what could their motive be? How much does Caleb actually know? Is there some untold story to how he became part of the Farspace fleet? Is it related to the ether core fragment? Is that why the fleet was desperate to get their hands on Kevi? But if it was just about the ether core fragment, they wouldn't have rescued him unless...
Unless the kid has something more valuable.
Not Viper. A cool breeze interrupts my thoughts. I turn around and see a dark figure behind me. He leans against a tombstone, his tongue darting in and out like a snake. Cracks and blotches decorate his face.
In this world, a lot of people want an ether core, but only a select few can handle its power without being devoured. And finding individuals like that is incredibly rare.
It's you again.
You're not even pretending to be surprised.
Why are you here?
To kill you, obviously.
How lame. Ignoring his bluff, I pull back my gun. Who are you? Are you one of Ever's assassins, or just someone who's interested in the ether core?
You managed to avoid the correct answer.
He smirks, his expression showing no signs of being amiable. He holds out his hand to me.
Let me introduce myself properly. I'm Caleb's friend. You can call me Viper.
His friend. Seeing how I don't react, he shrugs and takes back his hand. Are you implying that what happened to Kevi was caused by his ability to use an ether core?
Don't be too suspicious. Though, seeing you be manipulated like this is annoying. I'm here to lend a hand. Don't you want to know what the fleet and Caleb are really up to?
Oh no. What makes you think I'll believe you? When I express my doubt, he's caught off guard.
Fair point.
While we're talking, the faint hum of a car drifts from the cemetery and extends over the wall. I look in its direction. The rear window slowly goes down. Kevy waves at me, an iron fence between us. I can't discern who the person next to him is. It's probably his new guardian.
What a lucky kid. Saved from the fate of being a normal person. It's better to dance to the tune of the strong than live a plain life. A pawn is still a pawn, but they have a chance to survive to the end of a large chess game.
What have you done to him?
Finally, you're asking the right questions.
A hint of mockery flickers in those gray eyes that are fixed on me.
Don't you care about him? Go and see for yourself.
Without realizing it, I catch a small shiny object that was hurtling towards me. I open my palm and see a uniquely shaped disc.
Tomorrow afternoon, Shell 7, 93rd Azure Way Road. See you later.
That figure sways with the wind before instantly vanishing like mist. My voice. Chell 7, 93rd Azurway Road. A beautiful and secluded villa sits in a white vale. It's impossible to tell whether the building is surrounded by mist or floating clouds. The signal jammer Viper gave me allows me to silently scale the back wall and enter the courtyard. The tree's shadows cast diagonal lines across the grass and meticulously trimmed shrubs. The wrought iron fence enclosing the entire space resembles a carefully crafted prison. What exactly does Viper want me to see? Walking around a tree shadow, I notice a familiar figure standing in the center of the garden.
Miss, you're visiting me.
He smiles, seemingly unperturbed by my sudden appearance. It's nice to see you again, Kevy. I respond with a grin that holds an equal amount of warmth to his smile. Is this your new home? Is everything okay?
The professor said I'd finish my coursework here. He thinks I'm talented, but I still have much to learn.
As I move closer, I find that Kevy is holding a brightly colored bird in his hands.
I found it in the garden.
He pinches its talons and watches the small bird struggle.
If I break its wings, it can stay here forever. It will die very quickly, though.
Maybe don't do that.
The professor said if we damage the bird's neuromuscular system, it won't be able to fly, but it will believe it can. Slowly, it'll get used to its life on the ground. The bird will then forget that it's supposed to fly.
A bone-chilling voice, tinged with childlike innocence, sends a shiver down my spine. Kevy, who is the professor? What's he like?
I can't tell you. You're not my family.
Family, huh? Do you remember Mia? After the fleet found you, did something happen? Can you tell me?
My sister? She's dead. The professor said it's wrong to be sad. I shouldn't be sad. I'll have a lot of brothers and sisters. And I'll be strong. I've always believed when you lose a loved one, you're supposed to be sad. But miss, I don't feel that way at all. Should I be sad?
Kevy's fingers inadvertently relax, and the bird uses this opportunity to flap its wings and soar into the sky. He lowers his head, tears falling onto his hand. A confused expression appears on his face again. I touch his shoulder, ready to speak comforting words, but a faint mechanical noise catches my attention.
System error. Attempting a second reboot. The primary personality is attacking the control program.
My gaze flickers to a thin metal bracelet. Doesn't Caleb have a bracelet like that? Or am I tripping? My gaze flickers to a thin metal bracelet on Kevy's wrist. It emits a faint blue light.
No, no! It shouldn't be like this!
Kevy, are you okay? Can you hear me? But no matter how many times I call his name, Kevy doesn't respond. He stands still.
I shouldn't be... I shouldn't forget.
He's being controlled. Oh my gosh. His sentences are fragmented. It's as if some program is taking over his mind.
The chip. Rereading. Inputting memory.
In the blink of an eye, his gaze focuses on me again. Before he can wipe away his tears, he smiles at me and slowly shakes off my hand on his shoulder.
Miss, you're visiting me. That's good. It's time for you to go. The professor will be here soon.
My chest tightens all of a sudden. Is this what Viper wanted me to witness? Did he want me to see Kevy being manipulated to the point where his memories are being rewritten? Could the fleet be behind this? Or maybe... Someone's coming. As the sound of footsteps draw closer, I jump over the wall and hide in the bushes.
Did something happen, Kevy?
It's nothing. The bird just flew away.
It's interesting that he didn't rat me out. The composed, slightly exhausted voice speaks again.
I see you're struggling to restrain the fragmented consciousness that isn't yours. Those memories, emotions, and feelings don't belong to you. Don't let them consume you.
All of a sudden, the air goes still. Then,
Was that girl, Mia, also part of your plan?
my heart races all of a sudden. From just beyond the wall, I hear Caleb's voice.
She didn't show any signs of transformation. So why?
Transformation. Oh, like, okay.
You're overthinking it. For normal people like her, we don't need to get too attached. Letting your emotions run wild and blaming yourself for every little mistake, it will only hold you back.
Caleb is here? It feels like I've been splashed with cold water. A chill runs down my spine as I try hard to stay calm.
How is everything going on your end?
Oh no.
We'll soon be done with cleanup. As for the salvaging process, we'll pick up the pace.
The plan will be starting again. You must ensure she doesn't interfere with it.
The plan. Hold on.
Otherwise, I won't be able to keep this a secret for much longer.
She won't.
Oh no. Stepping outside the gate to the garden, Caleb senses something. He stops in his tracks and turns around. All the windows lining the corridor reflect the reddish sunset as they converge at a single point.
What's the matter?
It's nothing.
The fleeting figure appears to be a trick of the light. He averts his gaze, observing the layers of fog which cover the outer wall.
If that day truly comes, and she discovers everything, I'll keep her hidden.
What?
She'll be in a place where no one can find her.
Despite my extended leave status, my urgent message doesn't raise any eyebrows among my colleagues in the special operations. After requesting support regarding Kevy's condition, I also informed Captain Jenna of my deduction that the spatium core fragment had likely fallen into the Far Space Fleet's hands. In response, she repeatedly emphasizes Skyhaven's complex situation and would rather miss an opportunity than allow me to attempt a risky reacquisition mission. I promised multiple times not to act rashly. Soon enough, Andrew's search yielded preliminary results. Unsurprisingly, looking up Far Space Fleet and mind control chips gave no results. Of course, I understand. As I end the call, the clamor of traffic fills my ears. Above me, interwoven orbital tracks gleam like flowing streams of stars. The bustling scenery around me feels surreal. The moment I stop focusing on work, all the thoughts I've been pushing down start to rise up. Caleb wasn't just aware of the Far Space Fleet's actions. He also might have been involved in the scheme. Could his consistently vague whereabouts and highly classified cleanup be part of it? And what happened to the siblings was definitely not an accident, as the professor claimed. One thing's for certain, even if Mia's death was an accident, the fleet deliberately took Kevy. The fleet must be using some kind of chip to control Chevy. The fleet must be using some kind of chip to control Kevy and Joseph. They probably have goals that extend beyond obtaining ether core fragments. I lower my gaze and notice a metallic glint from my pocket. The necklace I had gifted Caleb still adorns my neck. Amidst the chaos these past few days, I forgot to return it. And in my coat's hidden pocket is a new stealth monitoring chip I brought from special operations just in case. Forgive me, Caleb. After a few minutes, I finally pull out my phone and dial Caleb's number. Hey.
What's up?
Nothing really. I just wanted to tell you my extended leave from the association is ending. I'll be heading back to Lincoln soon.
Has the date already been set?
No, I've been in Skyhaven for a couple days and got caught up in all sorts of things. I haven't had the chance to properly spend time with you. When will you be free? Is right now good?
Sure. I'm ready when you are. Do you have a place in mind?
I look up. A nearby tower, the aerospace center, looms over me. Its spire piercing the sky. Moonlight gently shines over it. It used to be Caleb's stomping ground back when he worked at the Deep Space Aviation Administration. The serene scene changes as holographic advertisements dance among the clouds. Head over to the Sunset Promenade on the Aerospace Center's outer ring to witness a type La supernova thousands of light years away. I heard there's a supernova today. It's not every day we get to see that, right? Let's check it out. Meet me at the Sunset Promenade in an hour. Stepping off the shuttle's platform, I see the scenery of the main island unfold before me. As night descends, the ring-shaped net encircling the tower glows like a planetary ring. Amidst the flowing lights of neon signs and holograms, people eagerly discuss the upcoming supernova they'll witness.
What will happen to the big star, Mom?
Maybe they'll... I'm not sure. I'm sorry, honey.
A memory that lay dormant for so long awakens and envelops my thoughts. Caleb, you have another project?
My science teacher wants us to build models. Everyone's either doing the solar system or a black hole. It's boring. Do you remember the supergiant Gran showed us? The one that's 2,300 light years away? Its supernova will be the one our generation has the best chance of witnessing firsthand. I want to see it.
Oh, I remember. Didn't she also use it as an example? She said that no matter what difficulties we face in the future, you should protect me. It's like how a ring system protects its planet.
Gran never said that, though. Are you just remembering what you want to hear again?
But she did say it.
Actually, Gran said that powerful stars are destroyed by forces from within. Meanwhile, fragile humans need to endure outside forces.
Actually.
We don't need to face the future alone, though. It's like how planets and their ring systems are born together. They'll also fade away together.
I basically said that. Anyway, you have to help me finish this week's extra reading assignments. I come to my senses. This place is crowded and everyone is trying to find the best spot on the Sunset Promenade. Someone steps on my foot. As I try to step to the side, I lose my balance and stumble into an unexpected embrace.
Sorry for the wait.
Why'd you step on my foot like that? A hand grabs my wrist. I look up and see Caleb's slightly amused expression. Caleb?
In Skyhaven, you can catch a glimpse of cosmic wonders every now and then. Though this is the first time I get to see a supernova. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Why is he acting like nothing happened? Why is it always so difficult to understand what he's thinking? Caleb grins and leans in.
Where'd you go today?
I just walked around.
This place is packed. Hold on tight. Don't get lost, Pipsqueak.
I'm not a little girl. Caleb, slow down. He grabs my hand and walks quickly, yet his grip is firm. It reminds me of when we were in school. He always held my hand like this back then. For a moment, I'm stunned. I start to question if the voice I heard this afternoon is really his. How could Caleb change? No, he hasn't changed at all. If anything's different, it should not be him. As I watch him walk, a bizarre idea pops into my head for no reason. Is there something inside Caleb that's controlling him? Is it changing him?
Over here.
On the edge of the viewing platform, Caleb discreetly moves to stand behind me. He acts like a shield from the bustling crowd. Below the glass floor, clouds ripple like waves, while a hologram appears to start the countdown. We can see Skyhaven University's clock tower from here. And look at all those fighter jets over there. Is that the aerodrome for Aerospace Academy?
Yep. With exams on the horizon, I bet a bunch of my juniors are preparing themselves for some serious cramming.
The last time I visited Skyhaven University was for your graduation. Time flies.
It sure does.
Do you regret it? Caleb leans on the railing, turns to me and smiles.
Regret what?
Being admitted into Aerospace Academy and becoming those 1 in 10,000 deep space fighter pilots. I hesitate, unable to find the right words. You're on an entirely different path now. It wasn't one you chose in the beginning.
Stuff changes all the time. It's fine. What about you? When you were a kid, you nagged me about using my evol to hold you up high. You even insisted I launch you into space. Do you still dream about exploring the universe?
That's just nonsense kids say. Caleb raises his head. There's a fleeting sadness on his face. I almost wonder if I had imagined it.
Back at the shelter, I remember you said your home was beyond the stars. But we couldn't even get past the walls and barbed wire.
Yeah, the teachers always said the outside world is dangerous. We were too little to go out. Though, when you're cooped up in one place for so long, the outside world can be more appealing than ever. Yet all we could do was hang out on the rooftop and count the fighter jets flying past us. I once asked you about why they would crash, and if the old railroad by the shelter led to the sea.
The fighter jets crashed because they got attacked by wanderers. As for that railroad, at the end of it is a patch of weeds. We'll figure out everything about this world, one step at a time.
Really? I'm starting to think some people's hearts are more mysterious than the world itself. Like you, for example. You're a walking vault of secrets right now. I can't tell if my thoughts are written all over my face to the point where he can see everything. I look into his eyes and hope to receive an acceptable response.
Well, Pipsqueak, since you're interested in secrets, there is one thing.
What? Which is? The noisy crowd suddenly falls silent, and dazzling lights fade into the night. The hologram's light continues to glow like water. Only the countdown remains. He grins at me, his voice as serene as a passing flock of birds.
It's starting.
The people around us look toward the sky, but his gaze remains fixed on me. I almost lose myself in his eyes. After a moment, I find my voice and flash him a smile. Oh, right. Close your eyes. I have a surprise for you. I pull out the necklace from my pocket and put it around his neck.
Who gives the same gift twice?
I'm returning it. Okay, but who lost a precious gift from others? If it disappears again, there won't be a next time.
All right. I promise I won't lose it again.
Oh. Whoa. The electromagnetic radiation from the supernova will persist for some time. To protect Skyhaven, a floating city powered by energy, aerial shields have been activated above us. After we witness this brief brilliance, Night descends unto the cityscape once more. Tonight, Caleb will go out again. According to him, Skyhaven's lockdown will be over soon along with the cleanup. I say goodnight to him in advance. Then I enter my bedroom, draw the curtains, and force myself to close my eyes as I rest on the bed. In these dark hours of the night, I eventually hear the door being pushed open. The faint sound of footsteps draws closer. Realizing it's Caleb, I keep my breathing steady. As I pretend to be asleep, a gentle touch lands on my forehead. He's gone. Why did Caleb... My mind is in turmoil. I press my hand against my chest, trying to stop my heart from pounding too quickly, and slowly get up. I look out the window and see the night scenery. Then, taking a deep breath, I activate the tracking feature on my hunter's watch. Target is being tracked. It seems Caleb hadn't discovered the tracker embedded in the net. No. Why'd you have to put it on the necklace? It seems Caleb hasn't discovered the tracker embedded in the necklace. With all these complex leads, only Caleb can unravel these mysteries as he's burdened with countless secrets. When I try to leave, I notice the door doesn't budge. Did Caleb intentionally lock me in the house? Oh. I raise my gun and aim at the lock. Without a second thought, I pull the trigger. Is it gonna be right there? Like outside the door? Oh, maybe not. Flares illuminate the night sky. They're bright enough to make it seem like daytime. Meanwhile, destroyed streetlights sway in the wind. 2 to 3 story steel structures cast looming shadows on the cracked pavement. A palette of dark, cold hues surrounds them. Amidst this desolation, the only source of vibrant color is the orange barricade tape. How can there be a place like this in Skyhaven? Thick wild grass covers the ground, a testament to the years of having been abandoned. Yet these pieces of metal shine as if they're new. Beyond the bars of steel, the faint outlines of various aircraft hint at this place's history. The signal from the necklace abruptly vanishes here. There must be a signal jammer in this area. Or you took it off.
We will now advance to the east zone.
What was that?
Uh-oh.
Shh! Quickly now. They won't find us here.
Before I can react, I'm pulled into a makeshift shelter made from discarded equipment.
It's just the rain. We need to keep moving.
I turn around and pull out my gun, only to see a young girl's face illuminated by the light reflected off a puddle. crystals adorn her skin. She wears a thin dress, but she's unperturbed in such cold rain. In the distance, officers wearing Far Space Fleet uniforms move closer. They're armed and on high alert.
Isn't it weird how these monsters are getting more aggressive?
The contamination levels here are extremely high. They're practically indistinguishable from wanderers now. Stay frosty. This batch of specimens is on the brink of transformation. Salvage value at 0%. Requesting confirmation to do the cleanup.
Specimens. Is she one of them? The crystalline growths on the girl's body are similar to Kevy's, but far more severe. She's almost completely transformed into one of the monsters from the M109 zone.
Hey, can you check if I'm still alive? Is my heart still beating?
Urging me, the girl grabs my hand and presses it to her chest. I look down. A fist-sized cavity covered in crystals is in her chest. Within it, a large crystal pulsates and eerily glows in the place where her heart should be. Oh my gosh. How? What happened to you? Her skin, drained of all its color as she stands in the rain, betrays the weight of her memories as she cowers.
As I was dying, someone whisked me away from the board and took off the white cloth on my face. They made a promise. After one experiment, I could live again. Who wouldn't want that?
As she speaks, the crystals creep further up her neck, yet she appears oblivious to them.
It's a shame. If I passed the test, I could have been the professor's daughter.
Curling up into a ball, she hides her face and muffles her sobs. The rain covers her anguish. That professor, he's the one who took in Kevy under the pretense of adoption.
Professor, who gave us a second chance at life. He's our father.
Now I know for sure he was the one walking next to Caleb at that villa. He's definitely involved in this experiment, and he must have had something to do with the Far Space Fleet. The lockdown and cleanup are just a cover. The fleet's true targets are these.
Power. It's warm. And you smell really nice.
Lightning splits the night sky, casting light on this narrow space. She stops sobbing. The girl raises her head, and I see her tear-streaked face. Click. The crystals fall. Those dark eyes are consumed. There are only empty eye sockets reminiscent of eye holes in a mask.
Can I eat you?
She seems to lose consciousness, but then her cold fingers grab my wrist.
Your strength. Give it to me.
Sensing her abnormal strength, I swiftly pull back. I use the momentum to throw the girl off balance and force her to fall to her knees. Raindrops trickle down her temple. Her skin is like humans. I hesitate for a second before reaching for my gun. That single moment costs me, and a sharp pain shoots up from my knee. The crystalline spikes protruding from her shoulders pierce my left leg. My blood mixes with the rain.
I said, you should let me eat you.
It's as if a silent signal has been given. Several figures emerge from the shadows and stagger toward me. Black crystals have almost engulfed every part of their bodies. They're barely recognizable as humans from their outlines. The cracking sound of burning flesh resounds in my ears again. Their silhouettes blur with the ones I remember from the N109 zone. No, those things are already here. They're all here for the ether core? As they close in, I have no choice but to fight through the pain. I push the girl away, holding my gun. I struggle to stand. Bullets cut through the rainfall and pierce the legs of two figures at the front of the group. However, they don't stop. Gritting my teeth, I aim for the shoulders of these people. Another shot rings out, and the girl's twisted convulsions come to an abrupt stop. But I didn't pull the trigger. The figure before me dissipates into energy particles. It's similar to how a wanderer disintegrates after death.
I found the missing specimens. Stop them!
Several lights shine harshly, and I hear the synchronized sound of guns being drawn. A bullet whizzes past my ear, yet those people who have been shot multiple times continue to lunge at me. Amidst the howling winds, the space in front of me distorts. A vortex appears, sucking in and tearing apart 2 or 3 looming figures. What is that? The rain stops, and the smoke from guns and crystal particles appear to be suspended in time. Oh no. Through the veil of raindrops, an indifferent face gradually comes into focus. Raindrops are deflected away. Caleb. Frozen in place, I don't know if I should call out his name.
What are you doing here?
Oh, he's pissed. I should be the one asking you that. I bite my lip before speaking in a more serious tone. These monsters and wanderers are actually what you're cleaning up, right? He takes a step forward and seizes my wrist with a lot of strength.
Now do you see? In this world, there will always be people who want your power.
In a dance of light and shadow, his expression remains indiscernible, and before I can open my mouth, the cries of wanderers fill the air. I avert my gaze. The remaining figures struggle against the vortex, and the metaflux slowly dissipates. As the winds screech, the energy particles coalesce into a large wanderer. It roars before advancing toward Caleb. Caleb, be careful.
You're the one who needs to be careful.
With a stern expression, he grabs my shoulder and pulls me behind him.
Are you trying to prove you're strong enough to trespass into restricted zones by yourself? At night? You should only do that sort of thing when you're not throwing yourself into danger.